You know, I'd have bought a Stabicraft regardless, but as far as, yeah, I think having the first one made in the U.S. was, I mean, it was beyond a selling point for me. As soon as he offered it, there was no question whether or not we were going to get this boat. We're Chris and Sarah, we're from Helena, Montana, and this is our new Stabicraft 2250 Ultra Centrecab Alpha. We've already gone camping out on several of the local lakes around Helena with it. We hauled it to Fort Peck Lake, northeast Montana. It's about 6-7 hours from here last week. Spent the whole week on the lake, had a blast, caught fish, went swimming, and it will be put to good use, I'll tell you that right now. We have a slew of cattle dogs, heelers, and they come with us every time.
And then we also have a 15-week-old corgi puppy who's new to our crew. My requirement when we were talking about getting a boat is that if he was going to have something that was going to go out on the ocean, he needed to have something that was also going to work here, because I'm not an ocean fisherman, and that my priority was to have something that the whole family could use, especially if we were going to effectively go big or go home. So it's nice to be able to have enough room for everybody, and that it's stable, it's safe. There's a, you know, the cab is nice because it provides shade, and then there's the sleeping quarters, which our teenager absolutely loves. But then if our youngest is getting a little grumpy, she can just kind of go and lay down and, you know, catch a quick nap and we don't have to get off the lake to do that. Yeah, I do like having the walk around with a little bit of an edge so that the dogs have that safety feature, because our dogs are our family, and if they can't come with us, then we really adjust our overall plans so that they're not just left at home all the time.
Well, we are from Montana, so I was raised on the Missouri River in Fort Peck, Montana, and I grew up walleye fishing and hunting and with a general love of the outdoors, and we just kind of cascaded from there, and it just kind of snowballed into what it is today. So we went from just a little 16-foot crest liner to now we've got the capability to go to any of our local lakes, and now I've got the capabilities to go 50-60 miles off the coast of Washington and catch tuna, or halibut in the spring, salmon are running right now. So, and for our local lakes, it's the safety and the reliability is just paramount. Some of the Fort Peck Lake in northeast Montana is massive, and it gets some super gnarly storm systems that roll through. So we know that if we're out there, that we're not going to get in trouble. So we have been going off the west coast, Westport, Washington, and albacore tuna fishing for, this will be 13 years, and I have booked 12 years of albacore trips, and I've only made it twice on my original book trip. So now with this boat, that gives us the capabilities to follow the weather and fish the weather. So we can take off on a Thursday and fish, you know, Friday, Saturday, and be home Sunday. I do work in North Dakota, and it's a 10-hour drive to work, and we work right on Lake Sakakawea. It's a massive lake on the Missouri River system, and coincidentally, it's a 10-hour drive to Westport, so it's like driving to work for me. So only it's more exciting. So we'll take off literally on a Thursday at 5 o'clock, and I will be fishing Friday morning by 6-7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, and actually I've been wanting to name my boat the Rusty Hook since probably about 2006. So maybe even earlier than that. It was just kind of it's a running joke. So, but I think it's a great name for a boat. I mean, we used to fish in a little 12-foot aluminum with a 25-horse outboard, and that was, I mean, I've traveled around the entire state of Montana and fished some of the biggest water in the state on a 12-foot aluminum boat. So it's kind of fitting that, you know, that would be the Rusty Hook, and here now we have the Rusty Hook.
Right.
It does. It means my wife is always right.
So let's talk about that very quickly. So there was a deal with this boat, right, Sarah?
It was a little bit of a process. He'd picked out his boat and everything. We'd kind of hit a couple of road bumps per se, and Chris was getting kind of frustrated, and he'd be like, "I'm never going to get my boat." And I just told him, I said, just take a breath. When I look at you and say, I can't figure anything else out, then you can say I'm never going to get your boat. We got it set up, and I told him, I said, you can never tell me no ever again. I said, you're getting your boat. And I said, what did I say? And he said, yes, you're right. I was going to get my boat.